Have you ever wondered if someone has quietly fallen for you, even though they've never said the words? Love rarely arrives as a headline. Often it sneaks in as a whisper, through gestures, through small habits, through the way a person becomes different around you. If you pay attention, those quiet shifts reveal everything. Today we'll explore 7 silent signs that someone's heart already belongs to you, even if their mouth hasn't caught up yet. These are subtle, psychological clues, backed by how humans attach, notice, and respond to emotional closeness. Listen closely, because the 7th sign is the one that usually gives everything away. Let's begin. Sign 1. They mirror your emotions, without meaning to. When someone cares deeply, their inner world starts to sync with yours. Your laughter becomes their laughter. Your mood shades theirs. If you feel tired, they seem to sigh a little more. If you light up, they brighten too. This is emotional attunement, a subconscious tuning of feeling and reaction. Why does this happen? Because you matter to them on a level that bypasses thought. Their nervous system aligns with yours automatically. They don't plan it, they don't announce it. They simply start reflecting your emotional rhythm. Watch for it in small ways. When you're joyful, is their smile the same kind of smile? When you're quiet, do they become quieter, as if the volume in the room turns down because you did? When this pattern repeats, across different moods and moments, it's not coincidence. It's a clear sign they're emotionally invested. Sign 2. They make sacrifices, quietly and consistently. Love shows itself in choices, not always dramatic ones, but the small, practical acts that cost time, comfort, or convenience. Maybe they rearrange their plans to be with you, or they check in when you've had a rough day, or they take on tasks simply so you're less burdened. This isn't about grand gestures meant to impress. It's about pro-social, selfless behavior that comes from caring. Psychologically, when someone's attached, their reward system lights up at the idea of helping you. They don't do it for praise. They do it because your ease brings them real satisfaction. If you look back and notice a pattern of quiet support, favors done without spotlight, effort made without announcement, understand this: they are putting you before themselves, and that devotion speaks louder than any confession. Sign 3. Your absence hits them more than they admit. People who care deeply notice when a piece of their routine is missing. Your presence becomes part of their emotional rhythm. When you're gone, it leaves a small ache they might not name. Watch how they behave in the time apart. Do they reach out more after you've been away? Do they seem quieter or oddly distracted? Sometimes they won't text right away, but their messages after the fact carry a warmth, a need to reconnect. Other times, they'll show awareness of the gap in subtle ways, referencing a small detail from when you were last together. This sensitivity to absence, feeling that something is off when you're not there, is a powerful sign that you've taken up emotional space inside their life. It's proof that your presence matters, not as obligation, but as comfort. Sign 4. They listen with full presence. Real attention is rare. In a world of half-listening and constant distraction, someone who truly gives you their focus reveals a deeper orientation toward you. When they listen fully, they don't glance at their phone, they don't interrupt, and they follow threads you mentioned weeks ago. This is attentional bias. The mind prioritizes what it values. If they remember tiny details from casual conversations, if they return to things you told them in passing, that's not just politeness. It's evidence that you occupy their inner attention. A person falling in love doesn't just hear you, they store you. They notice the tone behind your words, the little shifts that signal a bad day, an old fear, a hidden joy. That kind of listening creates safety, and safety is the foundation of intimacy. Sign 5. Their body moves toward you, naturally. You don't always need words to know where someone's heart leans. The body reveals desire long before the voice does. Subtle postures betray attachment. The way they angle their torso toward you in a group, the way their feet point at your chair, the half step they take when you walk into a room. Proxemics. The psychology of space shows that people close the gap with those they prefer. They select seats next to you, they find reasons to brush close, they lean in when you speak. These are not calculated moves. They are the body's honest orientation toward connection. If you notice this pattern repeatedly, especially when paired with quiet eye contact or an attentive posture, it means their body is offering what their mouth won't. Sign 6. They smile with their eyes when they see you. There's a particular kind of smile that goes beyond politeness. It reaches the muscles around the eyes, it crinkles the skin, it lights up the whole face. Psychologists call this a genuine Duchenne smile, a facial expression that comes from real positive emotion. When you walk in and someone's whole face seems to soften with joy, not just their mouth, that reaction is hard to fake. It signals authentic pleasure at your presence. Over time, if you consistently are the cause of that softening, know that you're the source of deep, positive feeling. A mouth smile can be polite. An eye smile is intimate. When it shows up again and again, it quietly declares affection. Sign 7. You become their emotional safe place. This is the deepest sign of all. When someone trusts you enough to let down their defenses, to share things they've kept private, to show their less polished parts, that's vulnerability. Vulnerability is the currency of closeness. It is the final step toward emotional union. They won't always say, "I trust you." Instead, they'll reveal childhood wounds, fears they've barely admitted to themselves, small humiliations they've never told another soul. They'll let their guard fall when you're near. They'll be their unedited self. That level of openness doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of feeling safe, and safety is built when someone senses your reliability, your calm, and your acceptance. When someone chooses to be emotionally raw with you, without theatrics or pressure, they're essentially handing you a piece of themselves. That is a silent declaration. You are home. Putting these signs together, what the pattern looks like. Any one of these signals could be a fluke. But when several appear consistently, mirroring of mood, quiet sacrifices, sensitivity to your absence, deep listening, body orientation, genuine eye smiles, and emotional openness, they form a pattern that is hard to ignore. Emotion builds slowly, and it shows up in layers. First, the small attentions, then the shifted rhythms of daily life, then the willingness to be seen fully. If you're noticing these layers, you're witnessing a heart that's already been quietly taken. A gentle word about timing and how to respond. People arrive at courage at their own rate. Some will speak their truth quickly, others will hold it until they're certain. If you suspect someone is feeling this way but they haven't said it, offer calm, not pressure. Respond with warmth, not interrogation. Be consistent. Your steady presence is the safest invitation they can get. If you want to encourage honesty, create moments where vulnerability is welcome. Share a small piece of your own story, demonstrate acceptance, and let silence be a space, not a test. Sometimes a small, reassuring phrase, "I'm here," opens the gate. Other times, simply showing up reliably will do more than any question ever could. Final thought, the heart speaks in small acts. Love is rarely a grand announcement. More often, it is a series of quiet choices. The way someone leans toward you, remembers a tiny preference, sacrifices a slice of themselves, lights up when you enter, and ultimately, trusts you with their unguarded self. If you've been noticing these signs, don't dismiss them as coincidence. Pay attention, honor the silence, and if you feel it too, meet it with honesty and steady courage. The most profound declarations are often the ones that never need to be said, because they're woven into the way someone simply exists around you. Stay present, stay kind, and trust what the small things reveal.